In today's video, we're covering the Aisizon Wireless Lapel Mic. Alright, now this should be a good test to be able to see if it's actually picking up in a regular tone of voice and not being extra loud, and showing that it actually can handle some distance instead of being hooked to the phone and using that microphone that's built in. This one's supposed to have 65 feet of range, and no, I'm not no 65 feet yet, but this should be a fairly good range test in the yard for the moment. We will see what it sounds like in the playback for quality, because there is a little bit of a breeze, but that's why I wanted to be out here, was to be able to walk around a bit, see how well this picks up for audio. See if it can hear the birds in the background, hear my feet while I'm walking, or rubbing on the shirt, anything like that. And by doing it this way, this is a good test to be able to demonstrate for you how well it works in a different environment. Like right now, there's a breeze coming from the northeast that's fairly light but strong enough it might get picked up by the microphone, so we'll see how well that sounds. But this way we can truly see how well it actually works out in the wind. This is a fairly inexpensive microphone. There's that. That should be a good test now that we're here in first person vlog style. Really see how much of a difference there is with walking around with me this time. This way you can actually see how I'm actually checking this. There's a cicada off in the distance there. I don't know if you can hear that. There's construction workers and stuff across the street remodeling a house. So you might hear a little bit of working back up over that way there. But this actually gives us a nice little test to see what we can hear, what we can't hear, noise cancellation for the wind and things like that. Now, of course, this is just test one. This is to get us started. And now we're going to switch to test two. This time we're going to do a distance test to really see if it can go this 65 feet or more. Because, you know, that's always a good thing. They tell you it's going to go a distance. You want to verify that distance. So, take a little stroll down the street here, and we'll see how well this actually does. Now, they say 65 feet, but we'll see. This is a nice little walk here. We'll see if it goes 65 feet. And I would say that it probably does, but we'll see. Because I'm roughly over that now. And this should be a good enough test. But we'll see how well it does at picking up over a long distance. Because if it can actually pick up over 65 feet, that would be good on the checkmark box there. We're still testing this on the iPhone out in the open with the various environment to hear the birds and to see if we can pick up the cars in the background and everything else for background noise. I'm trying to see how much we can actually hear while I'm talking, when I'm not talking. That way I can give you a real good example of what this microphone is capable of picking up. Because I am not editing any of the audio, anything like that. You get that as is raw. I don't tweak the audio on my videos. If anything, in other videos where I'm sitting at the desk or something like that, I will lower it depending on background music and stuff like that. Otherwise, I try not to edit audio on these videos, if at all possible. Alright. I'm trying to see what it's like sitting here a minute. Of course, you can probably still hear the birds in the background. Hopefully, you can see me on camera. hopefully this will test out how well it does with the wind noise, whether or not you can hear me breathing in the background, whether or not it's rubbing on the shirt, or anything like that. So we'll see how well this does for tests. This is a test of the lapel mic versus no microphone versus a Rode Vid Micro on the DSLR. So we've got 3 cameras going all at the same time, and each of them has a different microphone setup. None of them have been altered, so we can see exactly what is heard between each of them. Today is a little bit windier than it was yesterday during the lapel mic being solo. I'd say it's just a little bit stronger today, not much, but just a tad. But I wanted to do it this way to give a good example of the difference between what it sounds like between this lapel mic, what it sounds like right here with just the audio from the phone, and then what it sounds like from the DSLR with the micro. And this should give you a good clear indication of the quality of this microphone. Now, of course, I'm going to review this in post for editing this video and see what it actually sounds like with headphones on, so we can really give a good indication of what this is for quality. Alright, let's see how well this actually holds up over a distance. You should be able to see me on the left hand side of your screen walking down the road. Okay, I'm passing my driveway. We're definitely over 65 feet, and we're quickly approaching the neighbor's driveway, which is well over the 65 feet, and we're continuing on to see if we have any cutouts, breaks in audio, anything like that. We're still going, still going, still going. Hopefully we still have audio. We'll see here in a second. And we'll see how well this microphone works. If it lasted that whole distance, it'd be a surprise. If not, at least we'll have an idea of approximately where we lose signal and where we pick it back up at, if it picks back up at, I should say. But clearly, I have walked a nice little distance down the road, passing the neighbors again, coming back up the hill, and hopefully we have audio. I am almost to my driveway, and this gives you a good, clear indication of distance for this lapel mic. Now, as you've seen thus far in the testing, everything seems to go well. Unfortunately, what you don't see in these beginning clips is the downside. Overall rating when it comes to distance of the microphone being able to stay connected to your device while you're talking, it is rated for 65 feet, and I tested it well over 100 feet away from the phone before it even had its first little crack. Now, approximately another 35, 45 feet somewhere in there, it did cut out again and cut all the way out. However, coming back towards the phone, it instantly picked back up as soon as it had reached within its range, which is somewhere close to 100 plus feet. When it comes to the actual audio quality itself, to me, it sounds great. I have not edited any of the audio within this video for that specific reason. So you can compare the difference between what it's like with the microphone on, what it's like without a microphone, and what it's like to have like a shotgun mic on a DSLR camera. This way you can tell there's a clear difference between which microphone is in use. And in that aspect, I think it did very well. It is fairly easy to use. You have two adapters, one for a lightning port and one for a standard USB port. It'd be nice if the actual USB-C that is on the receiver built in was just a little bit longer so you could use it with all phones that had a case, but it's not. So if you have a case, you may have to get an extender in order for it to fit properly while using your case. If you're using the Lightning adapter, it worked great on my iPhone 14 Pro Max with the case on it, so you shouldn't have to worry in that case. Overall, I would give it a 4 out of 5 stars. As I said, I'm not returning mine. I'm keeping it because when I did my testing with my iPhone the very first day when I unboxed it, I literally only used it for about 20 seconds just to make sure it worked. And just that 20 seconds amazed me. And that's what put me on this long journey of a thorough test for you. Because I wanted to make sure that if I'm going to do a product test on something like this, especially when it comes to recommending things that are budget friendly, to be able to make your content or upgrade the quality of your content, even just the slightest little bit, I want to know that what I'm recommending works and is affordable. And I believe that if you are going to use this for a phone, it would work wonders for you in terms of quality improvement in your content. I would go as far as saying that based on the testing, that you could use this for podcasting as well as YouTube or interviews. Now, one thing I do want to note, however, if you do use these to do a interview style content where you and your other person are both wearing one of these mics, it does not split the channels in two. It is a mono channel device. Now, if you know how to split things in your videos for audio production, kind of thing like that, then more power to you. Just want to let you know it is not stereo, it is mono. Alright, I've had the Aisizon mic for a few days now, and I have been thoroughly testing this microphone between the laptop, the desktop, and a Samsung S22 Ultra as well as an iPhone 14 Pro Max. And thus far, during these tests, I've discovered a few things that have helped me further understand the use of this microphone, as well as some key points to help you in your use of this microphone. Um, During my initial unboxing and initial thought review, I was at a 4 out of 5. And I have continued to test this and test it daily to see if I can get any kind of a difference with the different environment outside when it comes to being windy, being loud with traffic, people, birds, and so on. One thing that I tested was being on the computer and the laptop the first day. And that first day I was a little bit disappointed. However, I discovered something while operating mobilely with the phones that I then tried on the computers and was successful. And never once is it mentioned within the user's instructions. So, you're in for not only a good testing and review, but you're also in for a how to use your Aisizon microphone. Alright, so now, as you can see, I'm sitting here and, well, I could hide a mic off screen, but why would I go and bother doing something like that when you're going to clearly notice the difference here in just a second. During the testing of this microphone on the iPhone and the S22, it has been awesome. However, there is no mention within the manual on using it with a phone or with a computer about noise cancellation or the different settings of this lapel mic. And there's actually 3 stages of noise cancellation. You have in your instructions a little guide that tells you every part of your microphone as well as the receiver and the adapter. However, even though they have an about the user interface section that tells you about the light being on when it's plugged in and the light being on the microphone and blinking when it's paired, it has no mention of the button other than turning it on and turning it off, and it being called a switch key. Well, friends, the switch key not only is your power button, but it is also your settings button to switch between 3 levels of noise cancellation. When you first turn it on, you may have a buzz in your audio. So you are going to have to do a test to get your microphone set. So what I recommend doing is plugging it in, turning it on, doing a quick recording, either voice or video. Talk normally, stop the recording, play back the recording. Hear what you sound like. Then depending on what you sound like, depends on whether or not you need to switch anything. If you do, it's just one click of the button and it will switch over to the next phase of noise cancellation. Here's a quick demonstration, and I'm going to put my headphones on so I can make sure that I'm not going to blow out your ears during this demo real quick, so you can actually see the difference between it being just turned on and having that electrical hum to the 3 stages of the noise cancellation. Alright, talking in a normal tone of voice, you have seen me and heard me clearly. Now, first click is going to reset this microphone back to being at level 1, starting out, not with any noise cancellation. Here, now you can clearly hear that there is a buzz and a hum and static that are easily heard within the microphone. Level 2, first stage of noise cancellation. You notice that the majority of the buzz, hiss, hum, and static has disappeared, but it still might be faint in the very, very low frequency in the background. So, one more click, and now we're at the next level of noise cancellation. Now there's no buzz, everything's clear, and it will cut out to pure silence every time I stop talking. Ready? Stage 3, the highest level of noise cancellation. This right here is perfect for any creator, any business person, whether you want to be on a computer or on a phone. This right here, this little inexpensive mic will give you professional quality audio on any device. And this is amazing. Now, it would be nice if they would have mentioned it in the little manual that you have 3 levels of noise cancellation, but at least I'm here to discover that for you. So no, your microphone's not broken. Click the switch. Because when I discovered this, that was my first thought, is it worked fine and now it don't. Why? Well, I figured it out. That little button isn't just for turning it on, turning it off, or muting, which you noticed there wasn't any mute after a single click. So let's try something. How about now? There we go. Another experiment done right there with you. Double click, you have a mute. Double click, turn off the mute. Again, something else not mentioned in the user manual. For an inexpensive microphone that comes with everything you need practically, it's great. High quality audio, easy to use. Where can you go wrong? Why spend money that you don't have to? Hey, this here is approximately $100 for one. And this is a wireless lapel mic. Because you can clip it to your shirt or clip it to your belt or wherever and run a corded lapel mic. Or use the one that's directly at the top. Now, to me, clipping this up here and having this big bulky thing pull on your shirt just don't look good, isn't going to feel good, and may not give you that best quality that you're looking for, in which case you use the cord. Now, not everybody can afford a $200 microphone. Not everybody wants to use a $200 microphone set. And I don't blame them. Not everybody has that within their budget. Not everybody cares to have that high quality per se just starting out. But with this little lapel mic, you have that in a much more inexpensive package. It's a neat little design. It could be improved, as most things can, but for the price point, for the features, for the quality, it's great. You get included adapters. This one here is the USB-C to Lightning adapter. It also comes with a USB-C to USB-A adapter. And depending on how you want to use it, you may need to get another adapter. If you're going to use it with a stabilizer gimbal, for instance, some of them have size requirements, and if you're not within that requirement, then it's not going to work to its best of its ability. So you may have to buy a right angle adapter to be able to continue to use the microphone with some devices and accessories depending on what you're using. Otherwise, it's a great little microphone. I hope you found this review helpful in being able to hear and see the difference between the different types of microphone, the Aisizon lapel mic versus without a mic, and with the Vid Micro on the DSLR, just to give you that different perspective. If you'd like to learn more about it, there is a link in the description. When it comes to the terms of being used by the blind and low vision community, unfortunately, this is another 4 out of 5 star in terms of being for our community specifically. There are lights, a very, very, very tiny little light that is on the microphone, and it does change colors depending on its functionality, whether it's muted, whether it's dying, charging, or whether it's paired to the device properly. Now, in that aspect, if you're completely blind, you're not going to be able to really, per se, know if it is on. You would either need to use somebody who is sighted that might be close to you to ask them if it's on, or you would have to use something like Be My Eyes to ask somebody that way to where they can verify that it is on for you, or off in this matter. They do charge fairly quickly. But in the, like I said, in the aspect of being in the low vision community, it's a little bit harder to know when it's on and when it's off. it took me a minute to actually find the light. So I understand the struggle there. Overall, it is a great microphone. I would definitely consider getting one if you're going to be doing content for YouTube or podcasting. I think it sounds awesome. So I hope you found today's video helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below. If you have this microphone, let me know what you think of it. What was your experience? Again, if you're interested in checking out this microphone, the link is in the description. Till next time, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.